who actually directs the governing of the country. The sovereign is represented in Canada by the Governor-General, who is appointed by the sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister, usually for 5 years. In each of the 10 provinces, the sovereign is represented by the Lieutenant Governor, who is appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister, also normally for 5 years. The interplay between the 3 branches of governments, the executive, legislative, and judicial, which work together but also sometimes in creative tension, helps to secure the rights and freedoms of Canadians. Each provincial and territorial government has an elected legislature where provincial and territorial laws are passed. Depending on the province or territory, the members of the legislature are called members of the Legislative Assembly, or MLAs, members of the National Assembly, or MNAs, members of the Provincial Parliament, or MPPs, or members of the House of Assembly, or MHAs. In each province, the Premier has a role similar to that of the Prime Minister in the federal government, just as the Lieutenant Governor has a role similar to that of the Governor-General. In the 3 territories, the Commissioner represents the federal government and plays a ceremonial role. Caption: Image of the Governor-General, David Johnston, Canada's 28th Governor-General since the Confederation. Canada's system of government. Parliament is comprised of 3 elements: the Sovereign, who is represented in Canada by the Governor-General, the Senate, which is appointed on the Prime Minister's recommendation, and the House of Commons, which is elected by voters. The 3 branches of government are the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. The executive branch consists of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. The legislative branch consists of the Parliament. The judicial branch consists of the different levels of courts in Canada. At the highest level, there is the Supreme Court of Canada, which consists of 9 judges that are appointed by the Governor-General. The Federal Court of Canada and the provincial courts are also part of the judiciary.
Federal elections. Canadians vote in elections for the people they want to represent them in the House of Commons. In each election, voters may re-elect the same members of the House of Commons or choose new ones. Members of the House of Commons are also known as Members of Parliament, or MPs. Under legislation passed by Parliament, federal elections must be held on the 3rd Monday in October every 4 years following the most recent general election. The Prime Minister may ask the Governor-General to call an earlier election. Canada is divided into 308 electoral districts, also known as ridings or constituencies. An electoral district is a geographical area represented by a Member of Parliament, or MP. The citizens in each electoral district elect one MP who sits in the House of Commons to represent them, as well as all Canadians. Canadian citizens who are 18 years old or older may run in a federal election. The people who run for office are called candidates. There can be many candidates in an electoral district. The people in each electoral district vote for the candidate and political party of their choice. The candidate who receives the most votes becomes the MP for that electoral district. Voting. One of the privileges of Canadian citizenship is the right to vote. You are eligible to vote in a federal election or cast a ballot in a federal referendum if you are a Canadian citizen and at least 18 years old on voting day and on the voters list. The voters list used during federal elections and referendums are produced from the National Register of Electors by a neutral agency of Parliament called Elections Canada. This is a permanent database of Canadian citizens 18 years of age or older who are qualified to vote in federal elections and referendums. Once an election has been called, Elections Canada mails a voter information card to each elector whose name is in the National Register of Electors. The card lists when and where you vote and the number to call if you require an interpreter or other special services. Even if you choose not to be listed in the National Register of Electors or do not receive a voter information card, you can still be added to the voters list at any time, including on Election Day. To vote either on election day or at advanced polls, go to the polling station listed on your voter information card. Caption: Image of the House of Commons chamber. Secret ballot. Canadian law secures the right to a secret ballot. This means that no one can watch you vote, and no one should look at how you voted. You may choose to discuss how you voted with others, but no one, including family members, your employer, or union representative, has the right to insist that you tell them how you voted. Immediately after the polling stations close, election officers count the ballots, and the results are announced on radio and television and in the newspapers. After an election. Ordinarily, after an election, the leader of the political party with the most seats in the House of Commons is invited by the Governor-General to form the government. After being appointed by the Governor-General, the leader of this party becomes the Prime Minister. If the party in power holds at least half of the seats in the House of Commons, this is called a majority government. If the party in power holds less than half of the seats in the House of Commons, this is called a minority government. The Prime Minister and the party in power run the government as long as they have the support or confidence of the majority of the MPs. When the House of Commons votes on a major issue, such as the budget, this is considered a matter of confidence. If a majority of the members of the House of Commons vote against a major government decision, the party in power is defeated, which usually results in the Prime Minister asking the Governor-General, on behalf of the sovereign, to call an election. The Prime Minister chooses the ministers of the Crown, most of them from among members of the House of Commons. Cabinet ministers are responsible for running the federal government departments. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet ministers are called the Cabinet, and they make important decisions about how the country is governed. They prepare the budget and propose most new laws. Their decisions can be questioned by all members of the House of Commons. The opposition party with the most members of the House of Commons is the official opposition, or Her Majesty's loyal opposition. The role of opposition parties is to peacefully oppose or try to improve government proposals. There are three major political parties currently represented in the House of Commons: the Conservative Party, Liberal Party, and New Democratic Party. Caption: Image of the House of Commons in session. Voting procedures during an election period. The following provides more information about voting in Canada. The voter information card. Electors whose information is in the National Register of Electors will receive a voter information card. This confirms that your name is on the voters list and states when and where you vote. If you do not receive a voter information card, call your local elections office to ensure that you are on the voters list. If you do not have the number, call Elections Canada in Ottawa at 1-800-463-6868. If you cannot or do not wish to vote on Election Day, you can vote at the advanced polls or by special ballot. The dates and location are on your voter information card. On Election Day, go to your polling station. The location is on your voter information card. Bring this card and proof of your identity and address to the polling station. To mark your ballot, mark an X in the circle next to the name of the candidate of your choice. Your vote is secret. You will be invited to go behind the screen to mark your ballot. Once marked, fold it and present it to the poll officials. At the ballot box, the poll official will tear off the ballot number and give your ballot back to you to deposit in the ballot box. When the polls close, every ballot is counted and the results are made public. You can see the results on television or on the Elections Canada website, www.elections.ca. Other levels of government in Canada. Local or municipal government plays an important role in the lives of our citizens. Municipal governments usually have a council that passes laws, called bylaws, that affect only the local community. The council usually includes a mayor or a reeve and councillors or aldermen. Municipalities are normally responsible for urban or regional planning, streets and roads, sanitation, such as garbage removal, snow removal, firefighting, ambulance, and other emergency services, recreation facilities, public transit, and some local health and social services. Most major urban centers have municipal police forces. Provincial, territorial, and municipal elections are held by secret ballot, but the rules are not the same as those for federal elections. It is important to find out the rules for voting in provincial, territorial, and local elections so that you can exercise your right to vote. The First Nations have band chiefs and councillors who have major responsibilities on First Nations reserves, including housing, schools, and other services. There is a number of provincial, regional, and national Aboriginal organizations that are a voice for First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in their relationships with the federal, provincial, and territorial governments. The following information will help you understand the differences between federal, provincial, and territorial and municipal levels of government. At the federal government level, the elected officials are called members of parliament, or MPs. Some responsibilities at this level of government include national defense, foreign policy, citizenship, policing, international trade, criminal justice, Aboriginal affairs, immigration, agriculture, environment. Of these examples, immigration, agriculture, and the environment are shared responsibilities with the provincial or territorial level of government. At the provincial or territorial government level, the elected officials are called one of the following titles, depending on the province or territory: members of the Legislative Assembly, or MLAs, members of the National Assembly, or MNAs, members of the Provincial Parliament, or MPPs, or members of the House of Assembly, or MHAs. Some responsibilities at this level of government include education, healthcare, natural resources, highways, policing in Ontario and Quebec, property, and civil rights. At the municipal or local government level, the elected officials are called councillors or aldermen, and the senior elected official is called a mayor or reeve. Some responsibilities at this level of government include social and community health, recycling programs, transportation and utilities, snow removal, policing, firefighting, emergency services. Caption: image of the Provincial Assembly in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. How much do you know about your government? The following are some questions that you can use to test your knowledge about your government. At the federal government level, who is Canada's head of state? What is the name of the representative of the Queen of Canada, the Governor General? What is the name of the Prime Minister, the head of government? What is the name of the political party in power? What is the name of the leader of the opposition? What is the name of the party representing Her Majesty's loyal opposition? What are the names of the other opposition parties and leaders? Who is your Member of Parliament, or MP, in Ottawa? What is your federal electoral district called? At the provincial government level, who is the Lieutenant Governor, the representative of the Queen in your province? Who is your Premier or head of government? What is the name of the provincial party in power? What are the names of the provincial opposition parties and leaders? Who is your provincial representative? At the territorial government level, what is the name of the commissioner who represents the federal government in your territory? What is the name of the premier? What is the name of your territorial representative? At the municipal government level, what is the name of the municipality where you live? Who is the head of the municipal government, mayor or reeve? Caption: image of the Quebec City Hall, constructed in 1895 to 1896. The justice system. The Canadian justice system guarantees everyone due process under the law. Our judicial system is founded on the presumption of innocence in criminal matters, meaning everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Canada's legal system is based on a heritage that includes the rule of law, freedom under the law, democratic principles, and due process. Due process is the principle that the government must respect all of the legal rights a person is entitled to under the law. Canada is governed by an organized system of laws. These laws are the written rules intended to guide people in our society. They are made by elected representatives. The courts settle disputes and the police enforce the laws. The law in Canada applies to everyone, including judges, politicians, and the police. Our laws are intended to provide order in society and a peaceful way to settle disputes, and to express the values and beliefs of Canadians. Caption: image of the scales of justice from the Vancouver Law Courts, with the caption, "The blindfolded Lady Justice symbolizes the impartial manner in which our laws are administered, blind to all considerations but the facts." Caption: image of a border guard with a sniffer dog inspecting the trunk of a car at the Canada-US border. Courts. The Supreme Court of Canada is our country's highest court. The Federal Court of Canada deals with matters concerning the federal government. In most provinces, there is an appeal court and a trial court, sometimes called the Court of Queen's Bench or the Supreme Court. There are also provincial courts for lesser offenses, family courts, traffic courts, and small claims courts for civil cases involving small sums of money. Police. The police are there to keep people safe and to enforce the law. You can ask the police for help in all kinds of situations. If there's been an accident, if someone has stolen something from you, if you're a victim of assault, if you see a crime taking place, or if someone you know has gone missing. There are different types of police in Canada. There are provincial police forces in Ontario and Quebec, and municipal police departments in all provinces. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, enforce federal laws throughout Canada and serve as the provincial police in all provinces and territories except Ontario and Quebec, as well as in some municipalities. Remember, the police are there to help you. You can also question the police about their service or conduct if you feel you need to. Almost all police forces in Canada have a process by which you can bring your concerns to the police and seek action. Getting legal help. Lawyers can help you with legal problems and act for you in court. If you cannot pay for a lawyer, in most communities there are legal aid services available free of charge or at a low cost. Captions. Image of jury benches. Image of a police constable helping a young boy. Image of a prison with caption, "Prisons have an essential role in punishing criminals and deterring crime."
Canadian symbols. Canada has many important symbols, objects, events, and people that have special meaning. Together, They help explain what it means to be Canadian and express our national identity. Important Canadian symbols have been discussed throughout this booklet. The Canadian Crown. The crown has been a symbol of the state in Canada for 400 years. Canada has been a constitutional monarchy in its own right since Confederation in 1867 during Queen Victoria's reign. Queen Elizabeth II, who has been Queen of Canada since 1952, marked her Golden Jubilee in 2002 and celebrates her Diamond Jubilee, or 60 years as sovereign, in 2012. The crown is a symbol of government, including Parliament, the legislatures, the courts, police services, and the Canadian Forces. Caption: Image of the Mace of the House of Commons in Ottawa. Flags in Canada. A new Canadian flag was raised for the first time in 1965. The red, white, red pattern comes from the flag of the Royal Military College, Kingston, founded in 1876. Red and white had been colors of France and England since the Middle Ages, and the national colors of Canada since 1921. The Union Jack is our official royal flag. The Canadian red ensign served as the Canadian flag for about 100 years. The provinces and territories also have flags that embody their distinct traditions. Captions: Image of the Canadian flag of 1965. Image of the Canadian red ensign with caption: The Canadian red ensign served as the national flag for 100 years and has been carried officially by veterans since 2005. The maple leaf. The maple leaf is Canada's best-known symbol. Maple leaves were adopted as a symbol by French Canadians in the 1700s, have appeared on Canadian uniforms and insignia since the 1850s, and are carved into the headstones of our fallen soldiers buried overseas and in Canada. The fleur-de-lis. It is said that the lily flower, fleur-de-lis, was adopted by the French king in the year 496. It became the symbol of French royalty for more than 1,000 years, including the colony of New France. Revived at Confederation, the fleur-de-lis was included in the Canadian red ensign. In 1948, Quebec adopted its own flag, based on the cross and the fleur-de-lis. Coat of arms and motto. As an expression of national pride after the First World War, Canada adopted an official coat of arms and a national motto, A Mare Usquad Mare, which in Latin means from sea to sea. The arms contain symbols of England, France, Scotland, and Ireland, as well as red maple leaves. Today, the arms can be seen on dollar bills, government documents, and public buildings. Caption: Image of the Royal Arms of Canada and of the Parliament. Image of the snowbirds with caption: The snowbirds are a Canadian icon. The image shows 431 Air Demonstration Squadron. Parliament buildings. The towers, arches, sculptures, and stained glass of the Parliament buildings embody the French, English, and Aboriginal traditions and the Gothic Revival architecture popular in the time of Queen Victoria. The buildings were completed in the 1860s. The center block was destroyed by an accidental fire in 1916 and rebuilt in 1922. The library is the only part of the original building remaining. The Peace Tower was completed in 1927 in memory of the First World War. The memorial chamber within the tower contains the Books of Remembrance, in which are written the names of soldiers, sailors, and airmen who died serving Canada in wars or while on duty. The provincial legislatures are architectural treasures. The Quebec National Assembly is built in the French Second Empire style, while the legislatures of the other provinces are Baroque, Romanesque, and neoclassical, reflecting the Greco-Roman heritage of Western civilization in which democracy originated. Popular sports. Hockey is Canada's most popular spectator sport and is considered to be the national winter sport. Ice hockey was developed in Canada in the 1800s. The National Hockey League plays for the championship Stanley Cup, donated by Lord Stanley, the Governor-General, in 1892. The Clarkson Cup, established in 2005 by Adrian Clarkson, the 26th Governor-General and the first of Asian origin, is awarded for women's hockey. Many young Canadians play hockey at school, in a hockey league, or on quiet streets, road hockey or street hockey, and are taken to the hockey rink by their parents. Canadian children have collected hockey cards for generations. Canadian football is the second most popular sport. Curling, an ice game introduced by Scottish pioneers, is popular. Lacrosse, an ancient sport first played by Aboriginals, is the official summer sport. Soccer has the most registered players of any game in Canada. Caption: Image of the Montreal Canadiens, Stanley Cup champions in 1978. The beaver. The beaver was adopted centuries ago as a symbol of the Hudson's Bay Company. It became an emblem of the Saint-Jean-Baptiste Society, a French-Canadian patriotic association, in 1834, and was also adopted by other groups. This industrious rodent can be seen on the 5-cent coin, on the coats of arms of Saskatchewan and Alberta, and of cities such as Montreal and Toronto. Caption: Image of a beaver. Canada's official languages. English and French are the two official languages and are important symbols of identity. English speakers, Anglophones, and French speakers, Francophones, have lived together in partnership and creative tension for more than 300 years. You must have adequate knowledge of English or French to become a Canadian citizen. Adult applicants 55 years of age and over are exempted from this requirement. Parliament passed the Official Languages Act in 1969. It has three main objectives: establish equality between French and English in Parliament, the Government of Canada, and institutions subject to the Act; maintain and develop official language minority communities in Canada; and promote equality of French and English in Canadian society. Caption: Image of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Ottawa. National Anthem. O Canada was proclaimed as the national anthem in 1980. It was first sung in Quebec City in 1880. French and English Canadians sing different words to the national anthem. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts, we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land, glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front est ceint de fleurons glorieux, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits, et ta valeur de foi trompée protégera nos foyers et nos droits, protégera nos foyers et nos droits. Royal Anthem. The Royal Anthem of Canada, God Save the Queen, or King, can be played or sung on any occasion when Canadians wish to honor the sovereign. God Save the Queen. God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen. Dieu protège la reine. Dieu protège la reine de sa main souveraine. Vive la reine, qu'un règne glorieux, long et victorieux, ronde son peuple heureux, Vive la Reine. The Order of Canada and other honors. All countries have ways to recognize outstanding citizens. Official awards are called honors, consisting of orders, decorations, and medals. After using British honors for many years, Canada started its own honors system with the Order of Canada in 1967, the centennial of Confederation. If you know of fellow citizens who you think are worthy of recognition, you are welcome to nominate them. Information on nominations for many of these honors can be found at www.gg.ca/document.aspx?ID = 70 $LAN = ENG. Caption. Image of Oscar Peterson with caption. Jazz pianist Oscar Peterson receives the Order of Canada from Roland Michener, the 20th Governor General, in 1973. In the center are Nora Michener and a portrait of Vincent Massey, the 18th Governor General. The Victoria Cross. The Victoria Cross, VC, is the highest honor available to Canadians and is awarded for the most conspicuous bravery, a daring or preeminent act of valor or self-sacrifice, or extreme devotion to duty in the presence of the enemy. The VC has been awarded to 96 Canadians since 1854. 6 recipients are included below with their images. Then Lieutenant Alexander Roberts Dunn, born in present-day Toronto, served in the British Army in the charge of the Light Brigade at Balaclava, 1854, in the Crimean War, and was the first Canadian to be awarded the Victoria Cross. Able seaman William Hall of Horton, Nova Scotia, whose parents were American slaves, was the first Black man to be awarded the VC for his role in the Siege of Lucknow during the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Corporal Philip Konowal, born in Ukraine, showed exceptional courage in the Battle of Hill 70 in 1917 and became the first member of the Canadian Corps not born in the British Empire to be awarded the VC. Flying ace Captain Billy Bishop, born in Owen Sound, Ontario, earned the VC in the Royal Flying Corps during the First World War and was later an honorary Air Marshal of the Royal Canadian Air Force. Captain Paul Triquet of Cabano, Quebec, earned the VC leading his men and a handful of tanks in the attack on Casa Berardi in Italy in 1943 during the Second World War, and was later a brigadier. Lieutenant Robert Hampton Gray, a Navy pilot born in Trail, BC, was killed while bombing and sinking a Japanese warship in August 1945, a few days before the end of the Second World War, and was the last Canadian to receive the VC to date. National public holidays and other important dates. The following are some national holidays and important dates in Canada. New Year's Day is January 1st. Sir John A. Macdonald Day is January 11th. Good Friday is the Friday immediately preceding Easter Sunday. Easter Monday is the Monday immediately following Easter Sunday. Vimy Day is April 9th. Victoria Day is the Monday preceding May 25th, which is the Sovereign's birthday. Fête Nationale is a holiday celebrated in Quebec on June 24th, which is the feast of St. John the Baptist. Canada Day is July 1st. Labor Day is the first Monday of September. Thanksgiving Day is the second Monday of October. Remembrance Day is November 11th. Sir Wilfrid Laurier Day is November 20th. Christmas Day is December 25th. Boxing Day is December 26th.
Canada's economy, a trading nation. Canada has always been a trading nation, and commerce remains the engine of economic growth. As Canadians, we could not maintain our standard of living without engaging in trade with other nations. In 1988, Canada enacted free trade with the United States. Mexico became a partner in 1994, in the broader North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, with over 444 million people and over $1 trillion in merchandise trade in 2008. Today, Canada has one of the 10 largest economies in the world and is part of the G8 group of leading industrialized countries, with the United States, Germany, the United Kingdom, Italy, France, Japan, and Russia. Canada's economy includes three main types of industries. Service industries provide thousands of different jobs in areas like transportation, education, healthcare, construction, banking, communications, retail services, tourism, and government. More than 75% of working Canadians now have jobs in service industries. Manufacturing industries make products to sell in Canada and around the world. Manufactured products include paper, high technology equipment, aerospace technology, automobiles, machinery, food, clothing, and many other goods. Our largest international trading partner is the United States. Natural resources industries include forestry, fishing, agriculture, mining, and energy. These industries have played an important part in the country's history and development. Today, the economy of many areas of the country still depends on developing natural resources, and a large percentage of Canada's exports are natural resources commodities. Caption: images of a lumber truck, of oil pump jacks in Alberta, of Atlantic lobster, and of a hydroelectric dam on the Saguenay River, Quebec. Canada enjoys close relations with the United States, and each is the other's largest trading partner. Over 3/4 of Canadian exports are destined for the USA. In fact, we have the biggest bilateral trading relationship in the world. Integrated Canada-USA supply chains compete with the rest of the world. Canada exports billions of dollars worth of energy products, industrial goods, machinery, equipment, automotive, agricultural, fishing and forestry products, and consumer goods every year. Millions of Canadians and Americans cross every year and in safety what is traditionally known as the world's longest undefended border. At Blaine in the state of Washington, the Peace Arch, inscribed with the words, "Children of a common mother" and "Brethren dwelling together in unity," symbolizes our close ties and common interests. Caption: images of a car assembly plant in Oakville, Ontario, of the Port of Vancouver, of a research laboratory, of RIM's BlackBerry device, and of ice wine grapes in the Niagara region in Ontario.
Canada's regions. Canada is the second largest country on Earth, with 10 million square kilometers. 3 oceans line Canada's frontiers: the Pacific Ocean in the west, the Atlantic Ocean in the east, and the Arctic Ocean to the north. Along the southern edge of Canada lies the Canada-United States boundary. Both Canada and the USA are committed to a safe, secure, and efficient frontier. The regions of Canada. Canada includes many different geographical areas and 5 distinct regions, which are the Atlantic provinces, Central Canada, the Prairie provinces, the West Coast, and the Northern Territories. The national capital. Ottawa, located on the Ottawa River, was chosen as the capital in 1857 by Queen Victoria, the great-great-grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II. Today, it is Canada's 4th largest metropolitan area. The National Capital Region, 4,700 square kilometers surrounding Ottawa, preserves and enhances the area's built heritage and natural environment. Caption: image of the Ottawa's Rideau Canal with caption: Ottawa's Rideau Canal, once a military waterway, is now a tourist attraction and winter skateway. Provinces and territories. Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. Each province and territory has its own capital city. You should know the capital of your province or territory as well as that of Canada. Population. Canada has a population of about 34 million people. While the majority live in cities, Canadians also live in small towns, rural areas, and everywhere in between. Caption: images of the Banff National Park in Alberta and of Peggy's Cove Harbour in Nova Scotia. The following list identifies the capital cities in each province and territory. In the Atlantic provinces, St. John's is the capital of Newfoundland and Labrador. Charlottetown is the capital of Prince Edward Island. Halifax is the capital of Nova Scotia, and Fredericton is the capital of New Brunswick. In Central Canada, Quebec City is the capital of Quebec. Toronto is the capital of Ontario. In the Prairie Provinces, Winnipeg is the capital of Manitoba, Regina is the capital of Saskatchewan, and Edmonton is the capital of Alberta. On the West Coast, Victoria is the capital of British Columbia. In the Northern Territories, Iqaluit is the capital of Nunavut. Yellowknife is the capital of the Northwest Territories, and Whitehorse is the capital of the Yukon Territory. The Atlantic Provinces. Atlantic Canada's coasts and natural resources, including fishing, farming, forestry, and mining, have made these provinces an important part of Canada's history and development. The Atlantic Ocean brings cool winters and cool, humid summers. Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland and Labrador is the most easterly point in North America and has its own time zone. In addition to its natural beauty, the province has a unique heritage linked to the sea. The oldest colony of the British Empire and a strategic prize in Canada's early history, the province has long been known for its fisheries, coastal fishing villages, and distinct culture. Today, offshore oil and gas extraction contributes a substantial part of the economy. Labrador also has immense hydroelectric resources. Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island, PEI, is the smallest province, known for its beaches, red soil, and agriculture, especially potatoes. PEI is the birthplace of Confederation, connected to mainland Canada by one of the longest continuous multi-span bridges in the world, the Confederation Bridge. Anne of Green Gables, set in PEI by Lucy Maud Montgomery, is a much-loved story about the adventures of a little red-headed orphan girl. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is the most populous Atlantic province, with a rich history as the gateway to Canada. Known for the world's highest tides in the Bay of Fundy, the province's identity is linked to shipbuilding, fisheries, and shipping. As Canada's largest East Coast port, deep water and ice-free, the capital, Halifax, has played an important role in Atlantic trade and defense and is home to Canada's largest naval base. Nova Scotia has a long history of coal mining, forestry, and agriculture. Today, there is also offshore oil and gas exploration. The province's Celtic and Gaelic traditions sustain a vibrant culture. Nova Scotia is home to over 700 annual festivals, including the spectacular military tattoo in Halifax. New Brunswick. Situated in the Appalachian Range, the province was founded by the United Empire Loyalists and has the second largest river system on North America's Atlantic coastline, the St. John River System. Forestry, agriculture, fisheries, mining, food processing, and tourism are the principal industries. St. John is the largest city, port, and manufacturing center. Moncton is the principal Francophone Acadian center, and Fredericton, the historic capital. New Brunswick is the only officially bilingual province, and about 1/3 of the population lives and works in French. The province's pioneer loyalist and French cultural heritage and history come alive in street festivals and traditional music. Central Canada. More than half the people in Canada live in cities and towns near the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River in southern Quebec and Ontario, known as Central Canada, and the industrial and manufacturing heartland. Southern Ontario and Quebec have cold winters and warm, humid summers. Together, Ontario and Quebec produce more than 3/4 of all Canadian manufactured goods. Quebec. Nearly 8 million people live in Quebec, the vast majority along or near the St. Lawrence River. More than 3/4 speak French as their first language. The resources of the Canadian Shield have helped Quebec to develop important industries, including forestry, energy, and mining. Quebec is Canada's main producer of pulp and paper. The province's huge supply of fresh water has made it Canada's largest producer of hydroelectricity. Quebecers are leaders in cutting-edge industries such as pharmaceuticals and aeronautics. Quebec films, music, literary works, and food have international stature, especially in La Francophonie, an association of French-speaking nations. Montreal, Canada's second largest city and the second largest mainly French-speaking city in the world after Paris, is famous for its cultural diversity. Ontario. At more than 12 million, the people of Ontario make up more than 1/3 of Canadians. The large and culturally diverse population, natural resources, and strategic location contribute to a vital economy. Toronto is the largest city in Canada and the country's main financial center. Many people work in the service or manufacturing industries, which produce a large percentage of Canada's exports. The Niagara region is known for its vineyards, wines, and fruit crops. Ontario farmers raise dairy and beef cattle, poultry, and vegetable and grain crops. Founded by United Empire Loyalists, Ontario also has the largest French-speaking population outside of Quebec, with a proud history of preserving their language and culture. There are 5 Great Lakes located between Ontario and the United States: Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan in the USA, and Lake Superior, the largest freshwater lake in the world. Prairie provinces. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta are the prairie provinces, rich in energy resources and some of the most fertile farmland in the world. The region is mostly dry with cold winters and hot summers. Manitoba. Manitoba's economy is based on agriculture, mining, and hydroelectric power generation. The province's most populous city is Winnipeg, whose exchange district includes the most famous street intersection in Canada, Portage and Main. Winnipeg's French Quarter, Saint-Boniface, has Western Canada's largest Francophone community at 45,000 people. Manitoba is also an important center of Ukrainian culture, with 14% reporting Ukrainian origins, and the largest Aboriginal population of any province at over 15%. Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, once known as the breadbasket of the world and the wheat province, has 40% of the arable land in Canada and is the country's largest producer of grains and oilseeds. It also boasts the world's richest deposits of uranium and potash used in fertilizer and produces oil and natural gas. Regina, the capital, is home to the training academy of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Saskatoon, the largest city, is the headquarters of the mining industry and an important educational, research, and technology center. Alberta. Alberta is the most populous prairie province. The province and the world-famous Lake Louise in the Rocky Mountains were both named after Princess Louise Caroline Alberta, 4th daughter of Queen Victoria. Alberta has 5 national parks, including Banff National Park, established in 1885. The rugged Badlands house some of the world's richest deposits of prehistoric fossils and dinosaur finds. Alberta is the largest producer of oil and gas, and the oil sands in the north are being developed as a major energy source. Alberta is also renowned for agriculture, especially for the vast cattle ranches that make Canada one of the world's major beef producers. The West Coast. British Columbia is known for its majestic mountains and as Canada's Pacific Gateway. The Port of Vancouver, Canada's largest and busiest, handles billions of dollars in goods traded around the world. Warm air streams from the Pacific Ocean gives the BC coast a temperate climate. British Columbia. British Columbia, or BC, on the Pacific coast, is Canada's westernmost province, with a population of 4 million. The Port of Vancouver is our gateway to the Asia-Pacific. About 1/2 of all the goods produced in BC are forestry products, including lumber, newsprint, and pulp and paper products, the most valuable forestry industry in Canada. BC is also known for mining, fishing, and the fruit orchards and wine industry of the Okanagan Valley. BC has the most extensive park system in Canada, with approximately 600 provincial parks. The province's large Asian communities have made Chinese and Punjabi the most spoken languages in the cities after English. The capital, Victoria, is a tourist center and headquarters of the Navy's Pacific Fleet. The Northern Territories. The Northwest Territories, Nunavut, and Yukon contain 1/3 of Canada's landmass, but have a population of only 100,000 people. There are gold, lead, copper, diamond, and zinc mines. Oil and gas deposits are being developed. The North is often referred to as the land of the midnight sun, because at the height of summer, daylight can last up to 24 hours. In the winter, the sun disappears, and darkness sets in for 3 months. The Northern Territories have long, cold winters and short, cool summers. Much of the North is made up of tundra, the vast rocky Arctic plain. Because of the cold Arctic climate, there are no trees on the tundra and the soil is permanently frozen. Some continue to earn a living by hunting, fishing, and trapping. Inuit art is sold throughout Canada and around the world. Yukon. Thousands of miners came to the Yukon during the gold rush of the 1890s. As celebrated in the poetry of Robert W. Service, mining remains a significant part of the economy. The White Pass and Yukon Railway opened from Skagway in neighboring Alaska to the Territorial capital, Whitehorse, in 1900. And provides a spectacular tourist excursion across precipitous passes and bridges. Yukon holds the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Canada, minus 63 degrees Celsius. Caption: images of Mount Logan and Sir William Logan with caption. Mount Logan, located in the Yukon, is the highest mountain in Canada. It is named in honor of Sir William Logan, a world-famous geologist born in Montreal in 1798 to Scottish immigrant parents. Logan founded and directed the Geological Survey of Canada from 1842 to 1869 and is considered one of Canada's greatest scientists. Northwest Territories. The Northwest Territories, NWT, were originally made up in 1870 from Rupert's Land and the Northwestern Territory. The capital, Yellowknife, with a population of 20,000, is called the Diamond Capital of North America. More than half the population is Aboriginal, Dene, Inuit, and Métis. The Mackenzie River, at 4,200 kilometers, is the second longest river system in North America after the Mississippi and drains an area of 1.8 million square kilometers. Nunavut. Nunavut, meaning our land in Inuktitut, was established in 1999 from the eastern part of the Northwest Territories, including all of the former district of Keewatin. The capital is Iqaluit, formerly Frobisher Bay, named after the English explorer Martin Frobisher, who penetrated the uncharted Arctic for Queen Elizabeth I in 1576. The 19-member Legislative Assembly chooses a premier and ministers by consensus. The population is about 85% Inuit, and Inuktitut is an official language and the first language in schools. Captions: image of an Inuit boy in Nunavut. Image of a caribou with caption. The caribou, also called reindeer, is a popular game for hunters and a symbol of Canada's north. The Canadian Rangers. Canada's vast north brings security and sovereignty challenges. Dealing with harsh weather conditions in an isolated region, the Canadian Rangers, part of the Canadian Forces Reserves, militia, play a key role. Drawing on Indigenous knowledge and experience, the Rangers travel by snowmobile in the winter and all-terrain vehicles in the summer from Resolute to the magnetic North Pole and keep the flag flying in Canada's Arctic.
Study questions. One of the basic requirements of citizenship is to demonstrate that you have adequate knowledge of Canada. The citizenship test is used to assess your knowledge of Canada and the rights and responsibilities of being a citizen in Canada. All the citizenship test questions